Okay guys, today we're going to be doing item number 20, and this is actually going to be the probability of a chance event. So you're going to write probability of a chance event. Before we just did one likelihood, one roll of the dice, and today we're going to talk about doing multiple rolls of a dice or multiple flips of a coin, as it changes the way that we're going to be doing things. So first we're going to look at this. It says, and you're going to write this verbatim into your notebook, you toss a coin 83 times. The coin lands 40 times on heads and 43 times on tails. If you define tails as success, what is the relevant frequency of tails? So we're going to say the relative frequency indicates that we are looking for how often in percent form the coin lands on tails. Okay. If the coin lands on tails 43 out of a possible 83 times. So we saw in the thing that success was 43, and we did a total of 83, so we're going to write 43 tails over 83 total outcomes, right? And that, when we divide it, is going to be 0.518, and then we're going to multiply it by 100 to turn it into a percentage, and then that's going to be 51.8%. So the relative frequency is 51.8% that we get tails. Okay? So of course, I'm going to be gluing these in. You don't have these to glue in, so you're just going to be writing them in, and you are going to be writing these in. We're going to move on to a second one in just a second, okay? So here we go for the second one. We're going to talk about this next problem. Oops, it doesn't look like I'm going to have enough room in my notebook, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and do it on the next page. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. So we're going to put this problem into our notebook. You probably should be writing this down. If I move a little faster than you need me to, go ahead and pause the video so you can write all this down. It says that Jackson has a bag that contains 5 blue socks, 7 pink socks, and 8 yellow socks. Jackson removes a single sock from the bag 50 times. Each time he records the color of socks that is drawn. He replaces the sock into the bag before the next draw. How many blue socks would be expected to draw if it was 1,000 pulls are conducted? And what about 10,000 pulls? So first we're going to figure out the probability of getting just a blue sock, right? So there are 25 socks, so that's going to be the total of 25. And of those 25, there are 5 blue socks, right? Oops, sorry, there's 20 socks. I miscounted there. And there are 5 blue socks. And that gives us the chance of 5 divided by 20, which is 0.25, or 25% chance of pulling out a blue sock, right? So what if we did 1,000 draws? So we would do that 25% of 1,000 pulls. Remember, of means multiply. So if we did so we would change this back to a decimal, 0.25 times 1,000 equals, we would probably get about 250 draws that were blue blue socks, right? How about 10,000 poles? We would go we'd have our 25% of our 10,000 poles, right? So we're going to then do 0.25, which is changing it back into a decimal, times, because that's what of means, 10,000, and that is going to equal 2,500 draws that are going to be blue. Okay, so let's try yet another one about a bag of bananas. So here is our next one that you're going to copy verbatim into your notes. A bag contains 100 mixed apples and bananas. Without looking, you choose a fruit out of the bag. You record the fruit and then place that back into the bag. You've recorded 14 apples and 16 bananas over the 30 poles from the bag. Using the results, predict the number of apples in the bag. So we know that we had 14 apples, and we've done a total of 16 plus 14, so we've done a total of 30 poles out. So of the 30 that we have done, we know that 14 of them are apples. When we go ahead and find the percentage, we're going to find that was 0.4666 on and forever. And we change that, multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, we find that that's 46.66% of the poles are going to be apples. Okay? And since we already multiplied that by 100, that's how many is going to, that's the percentage. So it's going to be, we'll round it because we know that we're going to round it to the nearest whole number. So if the population is 100, we're going to say 47% of 100 apples. So we're going to say 0.47 times 100 is going to equal 47 apples are probably in that bag. Okay? So we have one more example, and I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to glue that example in, and you're going to copy it verbatim. Remember, if you need a little extra time, you just pause that video. Okay? And so here we have that Benjamin and Emily want to play goldfish with cards, or go fish, I guess. They want to decide who gets to throw the first card, and so they decide to flip a coin. What is the relevant frequency on a standard two-sided flipping coin? So we know that there are they can get one of two things. One outcome out of two, and so that's going to just be 50%, right? So what's the probability of getting heads or tails? It's 1 out of 2 times the 100, and that's 50%. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and finish taking notes, and then you're going to go ahead and do the homework and then do the quiz. Again, if you need any help, please let me know.